Hey everyone, George here, the Disney Italiano, coming to you with a solo Citrus Corner video, if you will. Today I thought I'd give my 2 cents of how I feel about Monsters Inc. coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios with a brand new attraction, the new land, what have you. I'm going to give my 2 cents about it, being that we're starting off 2025, possibly with some construction coming up very soon. Coming to you with Citrus Corner, part of OG 55. Welcome back, folks, to, as I said, another Citrus Corner solo video. Excuse me, I'm jumbling over my words here. Yeah, kicking off 2025 with all the news that came from D23 this past August, one including the Monsters Inc. land with the new long awaited door vault coaster, if you will. So I thought I'd, being that 2025, as I mentioned, that construction will be starting on it fairly soon. We don't know when. Disney still has to confirm that, but Josh D'Amaro did mention 2025. It'll start the process with that. So I wanted to give my 2 cents on that. So I'm kind of on the middle ground, so to speak. I'm not on the high ground like Obi-Wan Kenobi on this yet with certain things. I am very excited about the Door Vault coaster. I've been waiting for that to come online since it was mentioned 15, 20 years ago. The fact that it's going to be the very first suspended roller coaster that Disney has created, I feel like it gives more of a sensation that you're kind of flying through with the doors in the factory and what have you. That's going to be great. I can't wait for that. So that I'm excited for. When Disney officially dropped where the Monsters Inc. land itself was going to go, I know everyone's going to be thinking, oh, George, you're going to be talking about, okay, you're upset that it's replacing Muppets Courtyard and that Muppets is going into Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm actually going to take a different approach at this. Even though I am going to miss Muppet Vision 3D, Disney did admit the fact that they will preserve the film as it is. We will see it possibly on Disney Plus, maybe in another theme park space, what have you. I am excited that the Muppets are replacing Aerosmith and Rock and Roller Coaster. That's for another story, though. Aside from it being Muppets Courtyard, the design and layout and style of the land itself has me a bit concerned. For instance, when you look at the land of what the piece of concept art is, and I know, we always say it all here on the channel, take it with a grain of salt. Don't be married to the concept art because things could change. But it seems like Disney is keeping the overall structure of where Muppets Courtyard currently stands, and they're just going to change the outside aesthetics to make it look like Monsters Inc. Now, I'm a bit concerned with that because what you're doing is you're taking buildings and you're just redesigning them to make them look like Monsters Inc., not necessarily making them look like the actual Monsters world in the film. They kind of went this route with Toy Story Land, which is, to me, it's nice, but it's a bit underwhelming, where you basically you take a land, you put a bunch of buildings up, you design it to make it look like the IP, and you call it a day. I know it's cost effective, it's less time consuming. I get it. But if you're going to do something on a big scope like Monsters Inc., where you're going to actually build the factory, I want a land that's immersive, where you're not just covering up an existing land and throwing an e-ticket attraction in there and then calling it a day and you're calling it Monstropolis. If you're going to do Monstropolis, I want it to look like Monstropolis. I know we're getting, Harryhausen's. I'm very excited to see that restaurant. And again, this is all just speculation right now of how I feel. I don't know how it's going to look in the end. I may walk into Monstropolis saying, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing that they've done for Walt Disney World in a long time. I'm just giving my 2 cents of how I feel about now based off of the concept mapping that Disney has released to us. But anyway, if they were going to go that route, I would rather them just do a Monsters Inc. e-ticket attraction rather than a land itself, if they're going to go that route. Now, when you take a look at Cars Land over at DCA, you literally are immersed in the world of Cars, where you actually feel like you're walking into the film. Everything down to the nitty-gritty detail of that land is so immersive, so technical, to the rock work, to the structures, to the buildings, to the audio animatronics. That is awesome. I can't wait for that. They even did the same thing over at Shanghai with Zootopia, where it literally makes you feel like you're walking into that land. I just hope that we're not going to walk into Monstropolis and we see the same kind of structures of how it looks now as Muppets Courtyard, and it's just reskinned to monsters. I think it would be really cool if they kind of went the Zootopia route, where you can see like monsters popping out of windows, walking out of doorways, or opening doorways, shutting them, sort of like how it is currently at Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue, the attraction at DCA, where it kind of gives you the sense that monsters are around you rather than just you're walking into a monster world, but no monsters, As I said, I am very excited about the e-ticket attraction. I know it'll be very immersive. I know for a fact Disney's going to deliver on that for sure. That's going to be another blockbuster attraction. But as I said, I'm just more concerned about the land itself and how it's going to represent Monstropolis, of how it exists in the films. Another notion that I would have done, and I know it's on the unpopular opinion to do so, but me personally, I would love to see them extend the Monster World eventually in time with Monsters University. Now, I know it's not as popular or as well liked as the original Monsters Inc., but if you take a piece of that parking lot that's, for Hollywood Studios at the end cap that's behind where Muppets Courtyard is now, you can extend the Monster World and create the Monsters University campus. You can, put like a lot of greenery, a lot of trees. You could build the campus itself. I think that would be really cool to actually include the original Monsters Inc. film plus the prequel. You don't even have to where it makes it, because technically Monsters University is when Mike and Sully were younger. You don't necessarily even have to use them. You can use them in the Monsters Inc. land, but just create the campus where you see maybe like new monsters or monsters from the different I'm drawing a blank here, folks. The different sororities that you can kind of go through. And so I think that would be really cool. So if they were to utilize a piece of the parking lot of Disney's Hollywood Studios, expand that out. That way you can get a full-on fledged Monsters world with Monsters Inc., Monsters University, and it would be more immersive, and then make the campus look like how it does in the film. And again, this is where I'm concerned of how it is going to look, being that it's basically looking right now the same kind of structure, but just retheming everything. Mama Melrose, the building of how it stands, is going to be rethemed to Harryhausen's. As I said, I'm looking very much to Harryhausen's. But I want it to actually look like it is in the film. Pizza Rizzo is probably going to be a quick service, location for Monsters Inc. As it was mentioned before, the Muppet Vision 3D Theater is going to be home to a Monsters Inc. show. But but again, I want it to be immersive enough where it feels like we're walking into Monstropolis and have that Cars Land moment where it's like, wow, it feels like I'm walking into the film. I just don't want it to just look like a bunch of buildings that was used in Hollywood studios and it's just reskinned to Monsters Inc. And then you have the factory. If you're going to do that, then just do the factory and don't do a land. That's just my opinion. Will they ever consider doing Monsters University as adjacent to Monstropolis and just do one big Monsters Inc. world? I don't know. They may. I think it would be really cool. I actually, aside from the factory, I actually prefer the world of monsters in the university campus. I think there's like a lot more to work with. As I said, aside from the factory. And then of course Harryhausen's, but yeah, I'm very curious how this is all going to pan out in the end. As I said, I could be eating crow, and as both OG and I have said many times on the channel, when we're wrong, we're wrong. We'll admit it, but majority of so we're pretty right. But yeah, as I said, I'm still very much excited for the Monsters Inc. attraction. As I said, I'm skeptical about the land, and I would love to see an expansion of the Monstropolis going into Monsters University. But I would love for you guys to comment down below. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Do you have a different opinion? Do you have a different outlook, a different way about how you would go about the Monsters Inc. Land or Monstropolis at Hollywood Studios? Tell me what you think. Comment down below. We greatly appreciate it. And Happy New Year's to you all. Have a safe, healthy, blessed new year going in. And let's kick it off with a banger. And speaking of kicking it off with a banger, we're going to end this video, as we always do here on OG55, with the one, the only, the Queen. Italiano out.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.